Hello and welcome to the Archie Luxury program. Today I'm continuing yesterday's clip, which was going through one of my good fans' collection and assessing the pieces that they've got. And what's actually happened is that I had some banter with this gentleman, Descartes, and he came back to me and he's answered some of my questions, and let's just go through some of his comments. Hi Archie, I suspect by now you've seen the photos of my collection. I couldn't help but laugh as I listened to your viewer email segment 21, in which you rightly so questioned my authenticity because I did not include a photo in my initial email, and that with such a collection I would surely have a $100 point and shoot. Well, photography happens to be another hobby, as you probably can tell from the quality of the prints, and he's using a Nikon D70, which is a fucking nice camera. I hope you enjoyed. Also, I understand you being critical about having several GMT pieces, but in my mind, collections can be built around themes as well as variety. There is clearly a GMT theme in my collection, but that is what I love. Indeed, as I have noted, my his Patek Philippe 5134 is a GMT piece, which is why I selected it. Hopefully, you have now read my email, sent along with the photos, explaining the rationale for each piece. To be fair to your viewers, I think it would be wise to note that some very good collections can be built around themes. In regards to the alternative pieces you suggested, No Date Sub, Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso, and AP Royal Oak. Number one, I dislike the looks of the Royal Oak. If I get anything Gentra, it will be a Patek 5711, as I mentioned in an email to you earlier today. Number two, I dislike the Reverso. I think it's a tad bit feminine, and it always struck me as feminine. Number three, I would probably get a sub at some point, but I'm pleased with my two Rolex sports watches, and as noted, I'm collecting along a GMT theme. I'm not sure if anyone has reviewed your collection. It's similar in some ways to mine, and I like it, but for what it's worth, I have some suggestions. This is the punter giving Archie advice. Number one, the Royal Oak Quartz, Holy Trinity or not, has to go. It's a dog. Quartz in a man's watch was cool in the 70s, but it is now beyond passé. Number two, I would also dump the Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso. You can get decent money by flicking both of these pieces. I think he's talking about the Royal Oak and the Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso Grand Date, and I would combine the proceeds to get a single piece which is much better and more interesting, like a high quality vintage Patek, like the only solid blah 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 blah. Okay. Number three, I am also not a fan. I'm also not a fan of your Cartier quartz, and he goes on to bag Cartier. And let me know what you think. Okay, let's have a look at it. Now, firstly, let me say this to you. I think it's a grave mistake to think the Jaeger LeCoultre Grand Reverso, the Grand series, is feminine. Yes, I agree. The classic size, which is the traditional Reverso size, it's a bit puffy. But the Grand size, it's got a fucking crown on it that would do a Submariner proud. So the Grand series, I would completely disagree with you. I think they are very masculine. They're very Art Deco, 1930s. They're just gorgeous. And so I would seriously disagree with that. And I think your collection needs a Reverso Grand GMT, like a dual time, something big Reverso. The next thing is you have said there that as far as the Royal Oak goes, you dislike the looks of the Royal Oak. I've got to say this honestly to you. I've always loved Royal Oaks. I think they're, in your collection you got the Datejust. I think the Royal Oak is on par with the Datejust. I know it's quartz, and I know that's the kiss of death for collectors, but let's be honest there. And this is in really, really nice condition. Box papers, everything. It's a minter, except the fucking crown broke off. The crown came off on fucking couple of days ago, but we won't even discuss that, okay? But I mean that Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, I think, is better than having a date just in my collection. I've looked at the rationale, and I'd rather have the quartz Royal Oak than a date just. The next thing you look at there is you were saying about as far as the themes go, and I agree with you. I think themes are a great idea. Now that you've explained the GMT thing to me, sure, I can understand it, and that's why I think you desperately need a Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso with 2 time zone feature. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's just sealed my fate with your collection there. The next thing is with my collection, see what my theme is, I've tried to go for classic pieces which are iconic, and that's why I chose the Patek Calatrava. I wanted an iconic piece. Each model I wanted a signature line, so that's why I went for with Patek I went for the Calatrava. With Omega I wanted the Speedmaster Man on the Moon. With Jaeger-LeCoultre had to be a Reverso, and with Audemars Piguet had to be a Royal Oak. And this is the theme in my collection. It's classics. That's what I'm very much into. That's the basis of my collection, classics, and that's why I've got the Reverso, and that's also why I've got the Royal Oak. And I've got to say, I know what you're saying about the quartz, yes, and at times I agree. The Cartier Panther, well, that's just a, I don't know what to say about that. I just love it because it is dated. That's what I love about it. It is passé. It's like a lime green 911 Porsche from the late 70s. I know it's not. You know, some people hate it. Other people just love it for the classic that it is there. And that's my view on that piece there. So you know, I don't think quartz is as terminal as you say, but I respect your opinion. Look, they were heavily discounted. They were bought with a huge discount because of the quartz basis on them. So yeah, that's right there. Okay, I actually emailed Descartes, and I said to him, give me information about you, because we at the Archie Luxury channel like to stereotype people. And you came back and told me you've got a law degree from an Ivy League school on the East Coast of the US. You told me you're the first person in your family from your mother's side to go to college. You're a partner in a large international law firm. My wife and I are both 45. Your wife's a history teacher. You've also told me that you're very much into cars and car collecting. You particularly like Porsches, and you currently own a modern and a vintage Porsche, and your wife has got a Mercedes. And you've also told me that you're actually an Obama fan, and your wife's a Republican. No, that's fantastic. I really do appreciate the photos and the review of your collection. And no, there's nothing you've offended me with your criticism of my the Royal Oak and the Panther. I understand exactly, but I gotta say, and thanks very much for sending your collection photos in to me, and I really do appreciate it. And look, if there's any other viewers there who would like me to assess their collection, please send me some photos of your entire collection. Tell me about your collection, and also a small little donation just to help with the running costs of the Archie Luxury channel would be greatly appreciated. And I'm happy to make a video about your collection, and I'll give you pointers, I'll give you some guidance, and I'll even let you throw a bit of shit on my collection. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think.